Oh, here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Masahiro Sakurai,
Greetings,
director of
Sakurai
Super Smash
Senpai.
Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited.
Oh man.
We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
Yep.
Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Oh jeez.
The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy. Which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release
If I don't
after
read
the
chat,
showcase
I'm
has
sorry.
been
I'm going to
broadcast.
be super focused
So
on
it won't
this.
be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time.
Okay, so
I
it's
think
not
even
being
many
released today.
Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, "Wow, really?"
Oh no. Oh no.
So let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information.
Oh no.
However, even if you say, "That's not the character I was picturing," I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly.
Oh no.
Now, let's do this.
Oh no. Okay, let's go, guys. Fighter 5 being announced here and now. Let's go. Whoa. Wait, anime? No, it is the houses!
The time is
Oh no!
to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharat upon our enemies!
Oh no, so many people are gonna be so disappointed. Oh, so many people are gonna be so disappointed.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you
Oh,
and I are
no.
one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be.
Oh no.
Are you prepared to die? I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
Yep, there it is.
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting
Oh
for?
man. Oh, join
So
Smash
joining
House.
Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Oh. Oh, I know so many people are so disappointed right now. Oh man. So we do have a first party rap.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Oh no. Yep. Female Byleth.
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
Oh man. Wait,
How is this?
are they gonna use all three of those? Oh, there it is. Wait, what? I'm confused now. But also at the same time. Yeah, that's basically my guess.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics. With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
Oh man. Oh!
Unleash the blinding speed of Falmouth.
Oh gee.
Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction. Your will and mine be now as one. To you, both sides of time of reveal! Through Smash, show the world!
Oh, man. Well, we've got our 5th fighter, and they are first party, surprisingly. Hi, Sakurai.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle.
Oh, man.
Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash
I
Bros.
need to finish
Ultimate.
playing Three Houses.
This release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant
28th.
access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually.
Oh, man.
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses, I'll explain a few things, so don't worry.
Oh, jeez.
First off, what is Fire Emblem? It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful.
I'm so glad we
The
understand
series'
this in
first
English.
entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die.
Yep.
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
But really,
wording.
if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios. Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
Uh-oh.
I'll give it a try.
暗黒竜と光の剣、外伝、紋章の謎、聖戦の系譜、トラキア776、封印の剣、劣化の剣、聖魔の宝石、草原の奇跡、暁の女神、神願黒竜、神紋章、覚醒イフ、ヒーロー、エコーズ、風化雪月。
There you go, 17.
Nice. Good job, Sakura. Oh, and there's the pose that
変
he
な数え
did.
方してます。
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つま
Oh,
りこれが
so
This is
that's
zero.
what that was.
Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Oh,
And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17.
so that's
Awesome,
where the
isn't it?
pose came from. Oh, he really
You can
threw us
actually
for a
count up
loop.
to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
Wow.
畳の数を数えるのに
If you've given up
I should
counting the
start
knots
counting
in a
like that
tatami
from
mat,
now on.
you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their regions. It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies, turn hostile, and try to kill you. To understand the concept of Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before, with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes and the outcome of each is very different. Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story. I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand. Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version. As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
As part of Challenger Pack 5, Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses joins the battle.
So this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon.
Oh,
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem Three Houses. They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
Oh!
It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Oh, that's bites?
you can do awful things. Like
Oh
this.
no! Oh no,
That
is he
said,
gonna be
you'll
top
launch
tier?
opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right?
こんな感じで牽制をすることありますよね。
If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Oh, wow. Ooh, and I saw that shake, the building on the right. It does look
Also,
like it's
if you add
walk-off.
an upward tilt, it will be stronger.
Okay.
And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful.
Okay, so
The
it's just
shaft
like
part
mine.
is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward,
Yikes.
or downward in this case. Next, the side special move.
Oh, jeez.
Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Wow.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this. But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful. Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong.
I bet that has a spike.
You can
too.
try for a
Yep.
meteor effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh no.
which allows you to withstand an attack.
Is that any
Just so
attack?
you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time,
Oh
plays out like
no.
this.
Oh
It's a
no.
bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed.
Thank goodness.
Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past
wow.
platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack. Also, you can turn around during the move.
Oh, of course.
The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group
Oh,
of
that hit
opponents.
both of them.
Plus, even if you fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the
Oh,
Fire Emblem
no.
series, because you'll just get loads of counters. It hits with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this
36%.
could just get you hit by counter after counter.
So it seems like
Next,
the
you have
counter
the
for
neutral
Byleth
moves.
is counters.
The bow you use is called Falmouth, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around.
Oh, they destroyed the table.
It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
Okay.
You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash a powerful arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible. Once you've entered the
Strong
stance,
hitter.
you won't be able to do anything.
But
Which means it's quite the risky
okay,
attack
so
to use against
counters
fighters who have
are
a move
definitely
with
the
a reflector.
strat against Byleth.
But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
Of course.
As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together. Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier. And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
I think I know.
Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
New stage.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For
Again,
this one,
sorry, I'm
we of
not
course
paying
tried to
attention to
recreate
chat.
the
I'm
place where you spend
super
most of the game,
entitled
Garreg
to
Mach
this.
Monastery.
Plus, if I minimize this window, then
This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out
you
in
guys
the
would
original
also see
game.
it minimized. So.
From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral all in one stage. It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four. Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
Again, spoilers.
There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but here you can break them, you see.
Nice.
If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right.
Only a little bit.
I wonder where people will buy their supplies now.
Not there.
And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot. Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
That's beautiful. Ooh.
you'll come
That's how
crashing
you
back down.
transfer.
We've broken through the ceiling and slammed
Oh,
into the
those
building.
chandeliers.
And the guests in the reception
Black
hall
Eagle.
are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire, and as such, they embrace their military might. Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
So it's just like...
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though. So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down. Also, you can break this table. Like so. Just like the sign that reads Furin Kazan in the Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range. Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed. It's similar to the bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap.
Yeah.
The naming process must be tough.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training.
I see that.
As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway, plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
Here. That was neat.
The last area is the Cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the Cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flayn. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flayn might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages.
Nice.
That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker!
Wait, what? Sakura?
And Hero!
Sakurai is
Gee,
gonna
we really
flex
made
on
a lot,
him.
huh? Banjo!
Sakurai,
Right
you're
now,
just
I think you
you're
know
gonna
what I'm
flex
doing.
on us, huh?
But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor here.
Oh,
But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily.
oh,
Uh-oh, this is bad. Bennigan's. I better keep my distance.
ooh.
I'll use this chance to attack.
Nice.
That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here.
Nice. Ooh,
Lots of explosives. Ouch.
you got this, Sakurai.
Perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No
Careful.
anti-air, huh? There, the
Nice.
Nice. Connected.
That's 2 of them. Ooh.
Good. There's Mom.
There's Mom. Oh no, that's gonna be
You're in a good
memed.
spot, Mom. I shouldn't have taken that.
Oh, that's gonna be
Gardevoir.
meme. There's Mom.
Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it.
Sakurai, watch
But I
out.
mustn't give up.
Oh, nice.
I can't waste this chance.
Wow, that was super lucky.
There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it.
Oh, nice.
Now, what are you charging up for? There's still more. Whack. Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him.
Nice. Nice.
I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Song collection.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being
The main
added.
theme has been rearranged.
This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board.
Yep.
It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is Legend class.
Yep. I had a feeling.
Also, there's a new classic mode route, a Heroic Legacy,
Yep.
which is designed to let you enjoy classic Fire Emblem stages from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that.
Uh-oh, something amusing? Ooh.
Now for the Mii
I gotta
Fighter
make sure
costumes.
my
Please take a
capture
look.
card works so I can test this out. So I can stream myself playing Smash sometime. Alright, let's see what we've got. What? Assassin's Creed? Wait, that's... I thought it was Assassin's Creed. It looked like it. I honestly don't know this game. Unless it is Assassin's Creed and I'm just... Rabbids! There they are. Oh. Oh, nice. That's a cute little reference. That plunger. Mega Man X? Ooh, X. Nice. Mega Man Battle Network. Nice. Mega Man EXE is back. And last? Cuphead! Ooh! Oh! Oh! Sakurai! Includes a music track! Oh, that is neat. Oh. Oh, first Sans and now... First Sans and now Cuphead. Oh, man. Sakurai. Oh, wow.
This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added. It's called
Wow.
Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well. After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo.
Yep. Definitely gonna get
The
myself
color
both of
palette
those
for Dark
when they
Samus
get
looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes.
Dark
Although she
Samus
does
and
look like
Richter
a
are planned
raisin.
for release on Friday, January 17th.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass.
はい、
Five fighters
そし
join
て
the
今
fight.
回
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally
Yep.
complete.
Finally.
The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and Byleth. From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there?
Yes, quite a
When we
few.
add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the
Yep.
line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well,
Yep.
have a look.
Oh, what are we getting? Also, thank you for whoever just posted me. If I had to guess, it's probably me. Yep, there it is! A second Fighter's Pass! Wait! 6?! Oh no!
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time.
Oh no!
For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It
Volume
will be
2.
available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out.
I am
And now
100%
that
going to
it's
get
official,
that.
we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed.
Oh.
Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it. Furthermore,
I'm
the
going
new
to purchase
editions
it
have already been
regardless.
decided. Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
Oh man.
But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Yep, what
Last
is it?
time, it was a Rex costume. But
What
this
is it
time,
this time?
here's what we have.
What is it? Breath of the Wild?
It's a Mii Fighter
Nice.
costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Nice. Lastly, oh no.
スマブラスペシャル
It's
は
been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world.
Nice.
Personally,
You
I don't
deserve
know
it,
if it counts as
Sakurai.
simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
海外でファイティングなんですね今までストリート
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1.
ですが
Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game.
ファイティングの
I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Indeed.
まあそもそもこの
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
非常に感慨深いものを覚えています第一シーズンの終わり
The
で
first Fighters Pass just wrapped up,
がやっぱり
but it was decided that there will be more DLC,
これからも休みは
which
な
means
さそうだと
no breaks for me.
思っていますこれからも
I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support us.
それでは以上です
That's it.
お疲れ様でした
Thank you.
That's it. That was 40 minutes. I thought they said it would last 35 minutes, but no, that lasted a good solid 40 minutes. Reaction on Twitter. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Hold on. Let's check Twitter very quickly, shall we? Uh-oh. What's this? Wait, hold on.
Distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying light.
Super Ultimate. Wait, are they gonna add what I think they are? Yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. Yep, 6 characters in the next fight. Oh. I feel you. I feel you. That was a Smash Bros. It was me, Fire Emblem Direct. Yep, me costume. 90% of the Smash community right now. Yep, not gonna lie, that's honestly 50%. All the non-Fire Emblem fans. Oh, I love this community.